Gentlemen, I have a plan.
We have to go one step further. We have to have a strategic mood. We have to construct the world of tomorrow. It's a systemic transformation of the world. So we have to define how the world should look like, which we want to come out of this transformation.
A systematic transformation of the world? Define how the world should look like? Very significant and powerful words by you-know-who. And Justin Trudeau seems to be his #1 disciple. Frank here with some sensitive political talk, and curious minds want to know. The latest I've heard was on this Digital ID talk. It seems to be on its way. Us citizens, we're not negotiating on this. We're not voting on this. It seems to be happening. Trudeau and the Liberal government, they're pushing this through, and you should be worried. I've seen this video of a lady, and I want to show it to you. Have a listen and judge for yourself.
So this is a bit of an emergency broadcast regarding the digital IDs. Yesterday in Canada, Justin Trudeau met with all of our provincial premiers and basically told them that we will not be able to get funding for our healthcare unless the premiers agree to the digital IDs. I will show all the proof. Now, those of you who think that digital IDs are great, they are not. Let me show you what these digital IDs will actually entail when it comes to control. Here's an overview basically of everything that will be included in the digital IDs. This can be found on the WEF website and also on all of the provincial and government websites. You will have healthcare. You will not be able to access any healthcare without this digital ID. Financial system. You will actually not even be able to carry out bank accounts or carry out anything online regarding financial transactions. Food and sustainability. This says for farmers and consumers, you will not be able to get into stores. You will not be able to even sell anywhere. Once they have this system in place, this is where the digital currency will come in. Travel and mobility. We saw that with the Arrive scam app. Humanitarian responses, which is basically just garbage. It's in case something happens, they will be able to track and find you, including if you don't want anything injected in your body. E-commerce. You will not be able to shop online. Then you have social media platforms. You will literally need this ID in order to get TikTok, Twitter, or Facebook. No more fake accounts. You have e-government. So if you want your taxes done, any sort of benefits from there, you will need this. Then it gets even scarier. Telecommunications. You will not be able to actually get an internet provider without this digital ID, and they will be able to track you. And then up there you have smart cities, and we all know what those are. Those of you who think I'm lying, here's the federal condition. In order for us to access our money, our tax money, this is basically a hostage situation of our tax money. And what you will see is instigators, government instigators under Twitter, under Justin Trudeau, that basically say we need to push our provincial governments to, get the money so that we can spend it better. No, we don't. We actually need to call our provincial governments right now, today and tomorrow and every single day until they scrap this digital ID. They cannot pass this without our approval. So I need everybody in Canada to call your provincial governments and literally tell them that this is not going to happen. If we need to privatize, if we need to somehow get into a different system of healthcare, we need to do that. As for everyone in the United States, you're kind of lucky because your healthcare is privatized. There's also a lot more internet providers, some that will not go along with it because of capitalism. So your money is actually speaking a lot louder in the United States. But Canada, this is coming down the pipeline, and it's coming down the pipeline fast, and we need to act.
She referenced the slide on the different things that the digital ID will do. I put a link in the reference below. It takes you right to the WEF website. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the slide there. So it's out there. It's really easily accessible. If I can access it, anybody can. What's next? Retina scans like in the movies? Like really? Are we at that point? Okay, so nice of Trudeau to link this to healthcare. On the surface, it seems like it's a nice idea and very efficient. It's a system that should eliminate things like fraud. Sounds good. But does this supposed perk outweigh the potential downside, the potential risk? Listen, with this system, they can track you. They can stop you from living. I mean, listen, without the Digital ID, that old Emergency Act was certainly useful on freezing bank accounts. Remember the protesters from last year? With this system in place, who would need a little old Emergency Act to do such a thing? The more I dug into this, the more frightening I became. You know who else has a system like this? But it's much more sophisticated and evolved? It's,
let's say, China. 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 China.
Of admiration I actually have for China, because their basic dictatorship is allowing them to actually turn their economy around on a dime.
You go over to China. 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 You take China. 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 I love them.
yes, good old China. They are constantly monitored by facial recognition cameras. They are instantly able to put a face to the name. Now, the citizens of China are also ranked. It's not just for banking rating system, but keeping track of spending habits, but also a way to keep track of whether a person is a good or bad citizen. The goal is to rebuild a moral society. The state will go over the details of a person's life with a fine-tooth comb. Financial situation, spending habits, career, even behavioral on social media. Criticizing government online or bragging about one's wealth is a big no-no.
My shoes cost more than your house. Are you nuts?
You know nuts. He's crazy.
On the other hand, praising the party or giving blood increases your social credit. In theory, everything can be taken into account in the social score, even mundane things like grocery shopping. You make an electronic payment, it tells the state a lot about you. Buying cigarettes counts against you. Buying wet wipes shows that you're an attentive mother. Now, beer could indicate alcoholism. You'd be better off buying water. Wait, what? A Canadian buying beer would mean a bad thing? Oh boy, explain that to good old Bob and Doug McKenzie. And I think I might be in just a bit of trouble under this system. In my research, I found that there are perks on being a good citizen, like discounts for public transit. So with good scores, there are benefits. Low scores mean people lose rights and even shames people for being untrustworthy and details them across big screens. The Supreme Court has even created a blacklist exposing those with low to zero score. There are companies on there as well as people. If you are on the blacklist, good luck traveling. You can't buy a ticket, not even for a train. Sounds like a digital dictatorship.
I have to have my China. I don't knock China. How could I dislike China? Man from
Unbelievable, isn't it? Sounds scary. It is. Just how far are we here in Canada off from this kind of system? I don't think tomorrow, but now that I've researched this a little, I think sooner than later. Digital ID is definitely the first step towards this goal. Look, things develop over time. It's not that ridiculous. You know, when we ask that question, how did we get there? Jordan Peterson explains it very well.
Things get to terrible places one tiny step at a time. You know, if I encroach on you and I'm sophisticated about it, I'm going to encroach 2 millimeters. I'm going to encroach right to the point where you start to protest. Then I'm going to stop. Then I'm going to wait. Then you're going to calm down. Then I'm going to encroach again right to the point where you protest. Then I'm going to stop. Then I'm going to wait. And I'm just going to do that forever. And before you know it, you're going to be back 3 miles from where you started, and you'll have done it one step at a time. And then you'll go, oh, how'd I get here?
So, really deeply think about that. 1 inch at a time. 1 inch at a time. And suddenly, is digital ID the first inch? Heck, it might be even the 5th inch. Who knows? Who knows indeed. I acknowledge that technology can be amazing, but all technologies are in the hands of very fallible individuals. Will this technology be abused? Who's to say that the government, using their own moral standards, they don't stop you from, say, shopping, traveling, or even working? It's a far too dangerous path, I think. And I also think that the risks here just far outweigh the benefits. Is it time to reach out to your MP and try to voice your opinion on this? I think so. So many controversial issues with this government. It just makes my head dizzy. But this one really frightens me. What do you think? Leave a comment in the section below. Please like, please subscribe. Man, I need my goblet for this one, and I try to leave you with a smile. So here it goes. Cheers and salute.